Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So this story is a Risa teaser type story. It has 27 parts, but I managed to find a summary of it. And so if you want to watch it, just go on TikTok right now and type in the Danish deception and you are going to get all the tea, all the details, the insights of the story. But this is basically a summary of what happened to this lady. Yeah, let's get into it quickly.
Anam Onyeka says she, her family, her friends, and even a coworker were scammed out of nearly $300,000, all by one man she thought was her soulmate, Martin Firstgard Anderson. She calls it the Danish deception. It started in 2022 when she met Martin at a beach club in Croatia. Tall, blonde, charming, claiming royal ties, wealth, and a booming tech empire. He flew her to Monaco, paid for flights, $2,000 a night hotels, showered her with promises, met her family, and built the perfect fantasy. And then the money problems began. He said his funds were frozen. The IRS blocked his accounts. His properties were stuck in escrow. She lent him $6,000, then more and more. Later, she learned he had borrowed $200,000 from her friend's husband, thousands from her sister, and had been lying to everyone in her orbit. The truth? He had a long-term gambling addiction, years of debt, and a trail of victims. After draining her and destroying her trust, he asked for a divorce and vanished. Now she's telling her story, so no one else falls for him again.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying could never be them. There's so many red flags. How come she didn't see it? Some people are saying this is something they will take to their graves. And the truth of the matter is, yeah, this happens to a lot of women, a lot of people, but they just don't come on the internet to share it. Okay, they don't share it. They keep it to themselves because it's embarrassing. It takes a lot for someone to come out and share their story to warn other people about this particular individual. So I'm going to give her that, okay? But this is why I say vet all of them, vet all of them, all of them. All men are men. White, black, purple, pink, orange, they are men. Okay? All women are women, all men are men. Vet everybody, okay? Don't sit there and put your head in the cloud because he's saying he's attached to royalty, he has money. He's taking the boxes, he's taking you places, paying for dinner, doing all of that. I've spoken about this so many times on this channel. In other topics, okay? I've said this, I think quite recently I even said this in another video, not too long ago, about these type of men who will come into your life. They act like, they have it like that. They lie about having it like that. But they are playing the long game, okay? They are playing the long game in the sense that you are going to pay for it. Most likely, all the things that they are doing for you is because other women are funding that, okay? They will get other women to fund that, and then they'll come into your life. They'll show you all these good things, take you to all these fancy places, buy you all these nice things. But you are also going to pay for it. You are going to pay for it. So be very, very careful of this type of men. Anyway, there's a few more details in some of the stitches because so many people are talking about this. But I'll urge you to go on TikTok if you have the time to go watch the 27 parts series on her page. I haven't watched. I'm still waiting for Bethel to break it down. So yeah, and if she does, I'll point you to her. And if I see something else, I'm going to update you. But for now, this is what I'm gathering from her story. So let's get into what people have to say. And we're going to come back and talk somewhere. Leave your own thoughts and opinions in the comments.
The Danish deception guy, yeah, I've met him. Let's get into it. So I've already done a story time about this on my Danish account, but y'all keep asking about it in English. I thought I would post it on my English speaking account. So basically, I met him a couple of years ago when he was dating a very close friend of mine. In the beginning, when I was watching her videos, I did not know that it was him, okay? I was just following because she knew how to tell a story and it was super juicy. And you guys, everybody was hooked. Hello. So imagine my surprise when my friend writes in the group chat that this is the guy and she dated him. And I go, wait a minute, I met him when you guys were dating. People who do not know me, I grew up in Denmark, so everything about this is happening in Denmark. So when I met him, he was very charming, very nice, nothing negative to say about him. And also, like, I'm strict, but my friend is much more stricter. So I knew if she introduced me to this man that he must have been a really good man. Not only is this guy a scammer, he's also a cheater because he was seeing my friend, his now ex-wife, and his ex all around the same time. Like, there's an overlap. And yes, he was out there selling everybody a dream. And I'm not going to go into detail about the relationship that he had with my close friend, but what I can say is that this man did not come for any royalty. Okay, his last name is such a basic ass fucking Danish name. He was not in the Olympic. He did not come from a well-off family. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but let's keep it a buck. And thankfully, my friend never gave him any money. Okay, thank God for that. And I feel like a lot of people should give Onyeka some grace because obviously if he could scam her family, her friends, and scam across the whole world, then obviously he's a fucking good scammer, guys. Come on now. And let this be a lesson for every girl out there. Do not give man any money. Okay? Not in this economy and not in the next. Thank you.
The Danish deception, but you deceived yourself. You actually deceived yourself because I'm sorry, it's not going to take me up to $200,000-$300,000 before I'm thinking, hey, maybe there's something wrong here. Okay, it's not going to take me figuring out this man has a gambling addiction. It's not going to take the numerous trips that he could not pay for. It's not going to take me paying for my own wedding dress. It's not taking me none of that to realize that this man is a scammer. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And then people are saying that, like, oh, guys, don't go too hard on her. This could be you. No, it could not. It could not be me. It could not be. Maybe it's because I just don't have money to play with, or maybe it's because I don't play about my money. But whichever one of those things, I know for a fact. I know 100% for a fact that it could never be me. It could never be me. Absolutely not. I rebuke it. Gee, why? And then he broke up with her. He left her. Huh? No, it couldn't be me.
You let a white man scam you? You're Nigerian. He scammed you a little worse than his ancestors scammed our ancestors. I'm sorry, but I'm shocked he didn't get no land out of it like they did the first time. Because why are there Belgian people in? Because your good sense did fly out the window a little bit. Hate to blame the victim, but here's the thing. If he is a millionaire and he made that money without you, how come all of a sudden he needs you to make the money? Come on. He needs you. He needs you all of a sudden. All that stuff wasn't set up before you. All of a sudden he needs you to make the money because you are the missing piece. It don't make no sense. And this is why it's so important to stop pedestaling whiteness. And why the girlies be saying decenter men? This is why. As a Nigerian person, I can say this. We love white people too much. We love them too much. Because when you love them so much, you can't see their scams. Because he was running textbook stuff on you. He wasn't really... Like, I know you made 47 different parts to the thing. He did the Russian skiddamadink and the Czechoslovakian skiddamadoo. He did those on you. Like, basic textbook stuff you could Google. Wasn't even something complicated like a Ponzi scheme. But, because he was white and y'all was on them swirl pages, you didn't think to yourself to think. And that's another thing. We gotta stop making our kids so damn sheltered. That whole, like... Don't ask questions. Go with authority. Whatever authority says. Just because he got a little bit of money and he white and he's wearing agbada. You see why when you people do that and it really does bother me. It really does. Because I've never seen any of you wear lederhosen. I've never seen any of you wearing their own cultural wears. They're always wearing agbada and they are wearing the shagu.
Guys, I just finished watching The Danish Deception. I'm completely done. And I have a hot take. Well, it's not really a hot take, but this is the one instance where gossiping would have prevented a lot of this. If people would have just spoken to one another and maybe spoken about her behind her back and been like, what the hell, why is she with him? They would have all realized that he's conning all of them. This is the one instance where gossip could have actually been positive, extremely. It would have saved them a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of hurt. She has really good friends, genuinely, because no one was talking about her behind her back to each other. Guys.
She was afraid of being labeled a gold digger, and that's why she got that. And until Black women heal their relationship with money, I think Black women will continue to get got in relationships. Let's put on our thinking caps and talk about it. As I watched the series, one of the things that I kept noticing was her emphasis on she wasn't with this man for money. She didn't want him to think that she was with him for money. And living in a capitalist society at this point, I think if we treated money like a natural resource, because at this point it's vital for our survival, that I feel like Black women would feel like they are more deserving of it. They are in need of it, and it's a resource that they enjoy having and a resource that they enjoy using. And I truly think the need to convince men that we're not with them for money stems from Black women being labeled gold diggers, right? Because in what other community is money not important? In what aspect of life is money not important? But whenever it comes to money in relationships, Black women have this need to want to prove that it's not about the money. And I think that's part of the reason why these hypogamous, and homogamous conversations keep coming up, because Black women are trying to prove that money doesn't matter to them when in fact it does. So when he came to her to ask her to borrow $30,000 and really ask her to borrow any amount of money, she felt like she needed to, because she needed to prove that it wasn't about the money and she was willing to be a ride or die and hold her man down, despite all of the red flags by that point. And I feel like we need to get over this fear of being labeled gold diggers, because if a man views you as a gold digger, then that means he knows he needs to have gold and he needs to be willing to share that gold. Because women who are gold diggers ask for what they expect. And honestly, if money wasn't important, he wouldn't have used money as a manipulation tactic. He wouldn't have used money as a way to love bomb her, to get her to open up and get her to soften herself. He used money as a tool to get from her what he wanted to get from her. But for some reason, as Black women, we downplay the role of money when it comes to romantic relationships. And I really want us to heal our relationship with money so that we can stop getting got.
I just watched the Danish Deception story and I have so many questions. Okay? I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised. Do you get what I mean? I knew where the story was going from part 4. Do you get what I mean? There were so many red flags in this story, and I really do believe that the reason why he was able to get away with what he got away with was because he was from Denmark. Yeah, I believe that his white privilege, as well as his pretty privilege, is what awarded him the audacity to actually ask for money from all of these people, and they just willingly gave it to him. With no question, with no investigation. Do you know what I mean? The craziest part of the story to me is her giving her passport information to somebody she barely even knew. She didn't even have his phone number. Who does that? Honestly, who does that? And every single time it just keeps coming back to me babe, you are Nigerian. You should have known better. You should have known better. There's just so many things that don't add up. I know that we're supposed to be feeling sorry for her. I understand that victim blaming is a thing, but I genuinely believe that we're not getting the full story here. I really think more happened. And I think that this is just a version of the story that she's comfortable with. Okay? We still get to the point, but I know that her friends probably told her. That many friends involved, I know that there were friends who probably told her the truth, who probably told her to be careful. That friend who went with her on holiday, right? We never heard about her again. Remember, she was uncomfortable. She was uncomfortable with how excited and desperate she was. But she obliged because she's a good friend. This is what I mean. I know there's more to the story. I just know. I also believe that the entire story around him being a gambler and having a gambling addiction, I believe that was all made up. I think that was part of the scam. I feel like she was so enthralled and so invested in being chosen, in being the type of girl that wasn't with him for his money, she really wanted to prove that so bad, even though she was. Let's be honest, right? I think that she just wanted it so bad that she couldn't see that that was also part of the scam. Because it's the perfect cover-up, of course. Like, if you can't pay the money back, then you just say you have a gambling addiction and you've gambled it all away. Then no one expects you to pay it back. It's actually quite genius, actually. But yeah, man, I just feel like there are so many holes in this story, even in the way that she's told the story. I just feel like there's more to the story, guys. There's more to the story. She was just so easily invested. And let's be for real, she went after him. And to this day is not really taking responsibility for her part. Like, she kind of handed it to him on a platter. Like, she made it so easy for him. Like, yes, I feel bad. I feel like she was groomed, but then I struggle with that because I'm like, you went after him. Do you know what I mean? Like she hid the marriage from her family because she knew that this was crazy. She knew that they were in financial ruin, and then they still kept going on the trips. Make it make sense. Like, I don't know, this is what I'm saying, I struggle, like, morally I struggle with it because I want to feel sorry for her, but at the same time it's like, you did this to yourself, babe. Like you were the perfect mark. And I just don't understand, because I'm like, as a Nigerian, he borrowed money from all of your family and nobody brought it up. Nobody said anything. Like, if my husband took money from my mum, she would definitely mention it, surprise or not. She's gonna say something to me, like, just so you're aware, like, I gave him a little something. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, like, so many questions, man, so many questions. But it's good that she's finally divorced him, but I just want to know, like, how much is the debt really? Because I know that there was more. I just know there's more to the story. I just know. But yeah, let this be a lesson, man. Let this be a lesson to never, ever, ever in your life give money to a man. Because a Nigerian babe would never. But after hearing this story, who flipping knows?
So I just finished The Danish Deception, and I literally, honestly, halfway through, I wanted to give up because the shit was so uncomfortable. But I finished it, and like, oh my God. Obviously, she did not make good decisions, but I think that it would be better to frame this as a story of this woman and her experience with, like, emotional abuse, because, like, what he was doing was financial abuse. Like, that is emotional abuse, and also just, like, emotional manipulation. And I feel like if you look at it that way, that kind of explains why she kept continuing the relationship, why he technically was the one to end the relationship, and all these things. Because if he's able to not only scam her, all these different people, like, in her life, his Danish mentor that he went to like 15 different business meetings with, and then also the fact that he was in another relationship with another woman, and then also while she was in a relationship with him, that ex-girlfriend, he was in a relationship with her for 7 years. So, like, clearly it's not just her. And obviously I think that we can attribute some things, like, obviously the reason he was able to do this because he's white. Like, that's like literally the only way. Like, there's no way. And you can probably maybe make inferences on her or certain things. Obviously, yes, she has her own part in this whole relationship or whatever, but I feel bad. Like, I feel bad, and I feel like I do feel bad for, like, the negative comments that she's getting, because yes, it is crazy. It was crazy that they're going on trips. It was crazy that, like, every episode they went on another trip. I'm like, girl, y'all can't just chill at the crib. Like, what's going on? If you don't have money, why are you going on these trips? Like, that doesn't make sense. But I feel like if you look at it under this, like, emotional cycle, that this, like, attachment cycle, the way she was describing being so in love with him, so attached to him, it's like how unhealthy that is. It's like you're not going to make rational decisions in that mindset. And I don't ever want to be in that mindset. Were there red flags at the beginning? Yes. The shit was not making sense. Yes. Her saying, I love you, I don't understand. Sending your passport to a man you don't know, I don't understand. Like, those things, I don't get it. But, like, the larger scamming, like, scamming in general, I can understand how that could happen. But even, like, her friends, like, they were all getting scammed. I'm like, you don't have gossipy ass friends. They don't talk to each other. They all don't be like, hey, have you lent so-and-so, Danish muffin like some fucking money. That's what I feel like. I don't know. I feel like my friends would all eventually come together and be like, "Hey, we all lent you money. Like, what the fuck's going on?" Like, I'm just there's so much here.
Yeah. See, I know so many women have this idea that it's always better on the other side. And babe, shine your eye. Shine your eye well. Because I'm sure if this guy was Nigerian, or anywhere near West African, Ghanaian or something, this lady would have clocked him. Like she would have known. She would have been known that it's a scam. Okay? I think what happened there is, number one, he said he's linked to royalty. And she didn't do, I don't know how she didn't do any background, because the way I am, you can't relay information to me like that and I'll sit down and not do a little bit of digging. One of the ladies were talking about this conditioning with black women or women in general. You don't want to come across as a gold digger. You don't want them to see you as you're coming into their lives for their money. Yeah, it's true. Because sometimes what will save you, is to chop that money, chop it well. Because the thing is, if you chop the money, they take you to all these places. So I want to buy you this, I want to buy you that, and you chop it well. You'll see them you see how they change very soon. Okay, they will get infuriated by you. They will start the scam very soon, and you can check out. Okay, because it's not true. They are playing the long game, so you have to also play the game. I'm sorry. If you're going in there and your head is stuck in the clouds somewhere about this fairy tale romance, they'll keep lying to you. And these type of men, oh my God. See, she wasn't the only one. He had an ex who he was taking money from, another girlfriend, I suppose, who he was taking money from, not just her. Even he didn't have a shame. He had to go to her family. In some of the videos, I heard that she paid for her own wedding because she's waiting for the big bag. Oh, he's royalty. He's linked to royalty. He's done this for me before, so he can do it again. Well, it's not going to happen again. That's it. It's done. They don't normally do it again. It's done. It's only once. It's in the beginning of that relationship. So when they are love bombing you, you collect it and you run. The moment you sense it, you collect it and you run. Because you'll be shocked, oh. $300,000. That's how much he took from her and the people that are close to her family and friends. Yeah, he has no shame. And being a man of another race does not exempt them of being checked and vetted thoroughly. Because you don't want to become a victim of something like this. This is sad. Okay? But it's happening to a lot of women. And this is why we talk about these things. I know yesterday this guy was saying, why are we promoting being single? These are some of the reasons why. You don't have to get married. It's not by force. He doesn't have to be Prince Charming. My dear, you'll be okay if you were single. You won't die, you. You have your peace of mind. You keep your dignity, your sanity, and your respect. You don't have to go through it, and every single day. Yeah, she was married to him. They are now divorced or something like that, right? They are now divorced because he said he asked for divorce in the end, right? So if they are divorced, she used to be married. So she was a married woman. Was she single? No, she was a married woman who went through this, and she came out to share her story. So who is keeping who single again? Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. Like I said, if I find someone who summarized it, I'll probably bring the full story if I do find it, all right? But for now, this is it. And if you want to watch it, go on TikTok and type in The Danish Deception and go watch the 27-part series for all the details, because that's all everyone is talking about on TikTok now. Anyway, I'll see you again in another one. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.